Hello everybody, welcome to today's special, brought to you by Cengiz Roundstone in today's Roundstone Report. In today's broadcast, we will be introducing a very special topic about today's issue, which is Internet privacy. Internet piracy is using the Internet to illegally copy or distribute software and is an infringement of the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, or the DMCA, in the United States of America. It is also illegal in other parts of the world such as Thailand, Indonesia, Russia, France, UK, and others. However, the process of illegally downloading software has proven to be incredibly difficult to stop. So the video that was just played was an advertisement trying to convince people to not illegally download their programs, music, TV show, internet products, and etc. Internet piracy has hurt the business of hundreds of artists around the world, as well as software developers and industries. This video not only shows the viewer that pirating is illegal, but that it is also highly immoral and that it is the equivalent to common theft. This can be seen in the creation of a concept known as copyright infringement, which is a term placed on works that are illegally shared and or used without permission. This, according to Russell Smith, a professor at the University of Loyola, states that internet piracy in our modern day and age includes activities such as the production, publication, performance in public, broadcast, adaptation, and transmission of material. Such a concept allows modern-day corporations to be able to better protect their artists and creators against people who would strive to take away their work for little to no cost upon themselves. Time and efforts led by both the creators and their distributors has led to a change in the way both the public and the private usage and act in the first place. As Professor Smith goes on to state in his paper, in the past, everyone was at liberty to read a book without breaching copyright, but on the internet, the mere act of getting access to a site and perusing its content may infringe copyright, even if the work is not downloaded or printed out. An example of such a view on said act can be seen with an interview with Dr. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Dr. Dude, a professor from the Liberal University of California with a PhD in telecommunications. There he is, ladies and gentlemen, in the flesh. It's good to meet you.
Happy to be here, Cengiz.
Well then, so without further ado, let us actually cut into the chase. So me and my team have been recently looking at your research, and we have seen that you have proven yourself to be quite a strong advocate for internet piracy. Is that true?
Okay, first of all, I want to say that I don't necessarily think that piracy is a good thing. I just think that the general cite that it's this hugely immoral thing is wrong, and I think punishments are too severe.
I see. Then would you consider any type of theft, such as common theft, immoral?
Of course, I consider common theft immoral.
Of course, then. In that case, would you consider internet piracy to be the same as common theft?
Well, see, that's the thing. Online piracy cannot be associated with common theft. It's just illogical. Because online, there are infinite digital copies. When someone illegally downloads something, they're not stealing it. What they're actually doing is copying it. And that way, they are not depriving the owner of its use. That's the important point.
I see. So, with the advert that we just saw, that we showed before, it was saying that downloading things online is the same as stealing a car. However, clearly, when you steal a car, the original owner can no longer use it, therefore depriving said owner of his material product. If a movie, for example, was illegally distributed online, however, the original owner can still use it because the original material is not lost. But, Doctor, are there not other moral complications that go along with this issue?
Well, yeah, but I think this is a very important point that is frequently overlooked.
Interesting. But these people who are illegally accessing intellectual property, should they not be purchasing it?
Not always. Sometimes if the intellectual property is being heavily overcharged, someone who illegally accesses it and then resells it for cheaper, that could be seen as protecting their customers. Additionally, critics in developing nations often see licensing fees as an indirect measure to restrict them from advancing technology.
I see. That makes sense. I appreciate your point here. So using that point alone, I think we can agree that internet piracy is not common theft, yet it still has some moral complications that don't make it fully permissible. Putting the fact that it doesn't deprive the owner of its value aside, let's look further into this issue. Firstly, would you, Dr. Dude, not agree that illegally downloading a piece of intellectual property has an overall negative effect to the creator in all circumstances?
No. While often there are negative effects, sometimes the opposite can occur. Surely, free distribution, even if illegal distribution, increases overall consumption of the product, right, or develops popularity. While yes, the developer is not usually receiving what he or she deserves, but it still promotes popularity. David Petrarca, the director of the highest-selling television show this year, Game of Thrones, recognized this. He admitted that piracy may do more good than harm.
Quite a compelling argument, Dr. Dude. But what about competition, exactly? Doesn't it kill competition in the market?
Well, you see, while it can add some infrequencies to competition, many software giants admit that they would rather see someone pirating their products than use their competitors. Also, sometimes it can help competition because when users have more access to try software, they can decide which one they like the most. This can urge developers to make better products.
I see. Well, thank you for all the time that you just shared with us today in this show, and thank you for all the information that you imparted on both me and my audience today in this wonderful evening.
Yeah.
Would you have any last comments to say before we leave?
Again, thank you for your time, and just, again, everybody, I'm not promoting piracy. I just believe in freedom of speech and distribution of ideas, man.
Thank you for your time, Dr. Dude.
Thanks for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Dude. As you can see, there are some ethical arguments for internet piracy, as Dr. Dude has shown. Such people would be known as fundamental libertarians. This argument doesn't only lie in terms of piracy, but roots back to just stealing of intellectual property in general, or copying, in other words. Some, such as Professor Selma Bringsjord, a Norwegian professor from the University of Norway, makes the claim that there is no logical way to distinguish different forms of copying. Us doing the research needed required to make this presentation is, in a sense, copying. Because of this logic, Bringsjord makes the connection that all forms of copying is permissible. Although at first illegally accessing a series of movies is considered to be illegal, there is a fine line between the process of illegally copying and sharing it and the actual process of enjoying it and viewing it. We here at our studio plan to present to you a varying set of sketches that will show to you the blurring of this line in between each other. Thank you.
This is Ben. He is just a regular guy who enjoys movies and has a normal memory. He rents a movie and watches the entire length and returns it after. This is Alex. He is just like Ben, except Alex has a particularly good memory. He watches the entire movie and remembers it quite well. This is Matt. He is exactly like Alex, except he has a superhuman memory. After viewing the film, he can remember the entire movie from beginning to end exactly as it was shown in real time. Meet Martin. He's the same as Matt, except after watching a movie like Matt, he went and told about the movie with his friends. He just told them that he enjoyed the movie and briefly summarized what it was about. This is Jacob. As you may have guessed, he's just like Martin, except instead of just summarizing the movie, he goes on to explain the entire plot of the movie from beginning to end. Here is Jeremy. Jeremy is just like Jacob, except in addition to having a superhuman memory, this guy is an acclaimed movie star. Instead of just describing the movie, Jeremy acts out the entire plot of the movie to his friends exactly as it went in the original film. He can do all of the voices and performances of the actors flawlessly and is equal duration of the movie. Now meet Jeffrey. Going back in time a little, Jeffrey is just like Matt, who was the guy with just superhuman memory. However, Jeffrey has devised a miraculous machine called the memory projector. As the title suggests, the memory projector hooks up to Jeffrey's head and somehow takes his memory and projects it onto a screen. However, it is still very choppy and rough. This is Robert. He perfected Jeffrey's device and made the Memory Projector 2000. It can now seamlessly project Robert's superhuman memory. He then uses it to show the film flawlessly beginning to end to his friends, who watch and enjoy the movie just as he did.
Hello everybody, we're here today at Square Enix headquarters in California. Let's take a look inside. We're hoping to talk to some of the Square Enix employees on their recent acts on internet piracy. Hello. Hi.
Hello there.
I was wondering if I could ask you a couple questions about your recent acts on internet piracy.
Okay.
Okay. So we were wondering with your the game Just Cause 3 that was released recently. I heard you guys added some anti-tampering technology on your new game Just Cause 3. We were wondering what you guys think about internet piracy.
Yes, we did include many measures to secure our game. In 2014, and that is because in 2014 approximately $74 billion in the gaming industry has been lost due to pirating games. Almost 2.5 billion games were pirated online, shown to recent research.
Wow, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Do you think trying to stop people from pirating Just Cause 3 will make a difference?
That's what we're hoping for. Unfortunately, the anti-tampering technology can only withstand so much. I mean, eventually hackers will be able to maneuver past the wall we've made. With so many people wanting to play this new game, we've been working on it a lot, and it has a lot of hype around it. People are definitely eventually gonna find a way because that's how they are. But at least through these efforts, gamers might start to be aware of their actions and see how it affects our company and the gaming industry. It's not just us, it's many other companies such as Bethesda, you name it, right? For Just Cause 3, having a delayed piracy, it can help to secure our initial sales and receive untampered funds for our products.
Yeah. Alright, thank you for your time. It's nice speaking with you.